good.
If to finish, if you want to have any recommendations in terms whether books, writers or poets or singers, or from recommendation of a book or an artist that had great impact on you, that inspired you, or just for us to know, you know.
True.
So for me, it has to be Bob Marley. It has to be.
Go on.
I'm named after him. My middle name is Marley, so I'm Reece Marley. My parents, each of my
Big
brothers,
fans.
Yeah,
they're named after them.
yeah. And I'll say I actually met his mother, Sedila Booker.
Oh yeah.
Met her, cooked for her as well. And this was in my restaurant back in Covent Garden. Yeah.
I've got him on a poster.
You have, yeah?
Oh
my word.
But his music, and I think for me, I grew up learning his music and singing to his music every day. My dad would pick me up and steer it up, and he'd dance with me.
Oh yeah.
And look, you see that?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
And then I don't know if you see their little touch there.
His signature.
Yes, you see.
Yeah.
Blessed.
So I started it's just the music for me, and the message behind the music. But then you start to realise how much of a activist he actually was himself, and his ideas resonate with me so much.
And I think,
carry on.
I was about to add, he's impacted the world more in his death than whilst he was alive. You okay? Yeah. Because again, and just to show you what is written, you see, whether it's in lyrics, and this is where our ancestors were amazing. They left a lot of stories for us, but as we grew up and we grew apart, we then started to believe, just like the Europeans, that they were just myths. You get me? They were just fantasy stories. Oh, they're only trying to comfort you with, fairy tales. No, this was our way of giving our history. It was vocal. And that's, again, just like we was talking about the importance of us getting together around that dinner table, this was what, if I'm correct, Theodore Roosevelt, the American president, one of the American presidents, he created this idea of the fireside chats. This is when America was going through one of the most depressed times of their lives. This was the 30s, 1930s. And he had this fireside chat where he made people felt that they were in the same room as him. And this is another thing. Look, him's there sitting around a fireside, the lamp over there, and talking in a very nice, calm way. Similar, I don't know if you realize that when you're on Zoom, and I think if you're really engrossed, it's as though you're in the same room as the persons, yeah? And so that's it's about connections.
Connection, it is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What about you, Corallina?
So for me, I would say I would talk upon a more he's a British writer and musician. He's I don't know, he's not very well known, but I think within London I would say his name is Akala. And Akala, his name is Akala Music on Instagram. He has various shows on YouTube, and I think Akala is one of the very many influential people who have had impact on me, because this is a man of Jamaican descent, who is mixed race, who just has completely spoken out and called out everything UK based that needs to be addressed, not only within just for Black people, but within, let's say, the NHS, within where the government is putting money into what he is a very very upcoming influential person. And I feel like the reason why I feel like he is of great influence is because he uses his platform as a musician as well to talk upon issues going on, to talk upon ways in which this world, this country of ours is going, needs to.
I don't know. We seem to have lost Corallina.
Yeah. Come back. Come back.
So in the meantime,
have
you got any recommendations, or?
Well, I would say.
Sorry, I think my internet was.
No problem.
But what I was saying is, his first name is his names are Kingsley MacLean. Those are his actual names. I just feel like the way in which he has addressed issues across this country that we live in and the world in general is in a very, very positive and impactful way, especially for the youth. But he's also carrying out talks in sixth forms across London on violence, gang violence, on racial violence, on sex violence, and I just feel, for me, as we look at olden people. By that I mean people like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, Bob Marley, Nelson Mandela, and those are people of greatness. But I also strive to look for people right now who are also,
which is interesting, because it was one of my questions, is what, if you have any role models for youth, black youth, nowadays, which it actually answers that. So it's really interesting that you know about this person that I personally haven't heard about, but I'm going to research.
I think, wait, let me just, his first names are, sorry, just give me one moment to look at it for you. His stage name is Akala, Akala. If you search it on the internet, you'll find it. But his actual names are Kingsley James MacLean. Yeah.
Okay.
Very,
Super. Thanks, Corallina.
No problem.
And you, Euten, if you have.
Well, all right. I'll just end with this, really, because I think I was touched by the books and of an amazing woman who is now dead. God bless her soul. Dr. Maya Angelou. I think for me, she was my real inspiration, and what triggered even that, I would say, yes, the writing that was within me, and Still I Rise. I think one of her, I just love the book, Still I Rise. And for me, even the said poem is amazing. And then Phenomenal Woman. And why, when I read her life story and how she was growing up in America and all the trials and tribulations that she had to endure, one, I actually felt her pains, and I remember reading it and just basically falling apart. But in all of this, it taught me that yes, we must be steadfast and that we must not give up, even when things look so dire. Stand, don't give up, and if you do fall, guess what? Pick yourself up, and of course, I will say, I've met some amazing people in my lifetime, and one of these individuals is an African gentleman called Deli Lucas. Now, again, we formed a charity called Facets, which is now basically Foods of African and Caribbean Educational Trust. And this is where I go back to say, to make a difference in anyone's life, grassroots. You got to start from when they're young. So if you teach that child correctly, no matter what, they will always remain just like a plant. You plant that plant right, that root will go down, and if you water it as well, the roots will, it will take the water from the roots, which is basically pointed downwards, and they'll be nourished. And this is what it is. We've got to start nourishing our children. And even, I would say this, you know what? as a race of people, we've had tendencies when we neglect technology, and because I remember, well, only a couple of decades ago, that even I used to remember people saying, no, 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 man's never been to the moon. And that even though, yeah, one of my, you couldn't tell certain relatives that, yeah, man's been to the moon. They'd slap you and tell you that you've lost it, go away, you idiot, you get me? And so now they can visually see the technology, and some people still think, no, man, they're lying to you, man. That's all, you know, I mean, a camera trick and thing like that. But guess what? As a race of people, and I would say this, for those, and I'm proud of us, yeah, and I really mean it, I'm proud of us. And when I really look at it and think, to get a really positive ancestral DNA, what science has learned is that, or scientists have learned, is that they used to use the man, the father, and they've realized, no, use the mother. Why? The mother's DNA is precise, yeah, because, and it just shows you such direction and such precision that it will be able to tell you straight away what your bloodline is and where you're from. And I feel really blessed to know that our people have done amazing works, which cover every academic profession. And it's so nice, yeah, to be part of this. And I thank you, and to share, you know, yeah, your views. And, you know, as I say, if we continue like this, the next generation, listen, I was, you know, as much as we say we've not really seen changes, I can tell you this, there has been changes, yeah, has been changes, vast, yeah. And if I tell you some of the places that as this Jamaican, yeah, I think I was made to feel at times insignificant. I've been to some places mixed with royalty, and you know what? Before I never thought these things was possible, yeah. And I feel really proud. And in all of this, my main aim is to leave my legacy for my children. And this is the honest truth. It's for my children. My daughter, amazing young lady, my two sons. You know, I'm proud of who I am. And I'm proud of being part of this, and why we're making a change. We're making change. And we're
absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
I mean, it has been such a great opportunity for us as an organization to have you guys here tonight, and I'm ever so grateful for your time. A last word, if you have a last word. Euten just summed it up actually, but Reece and Corallina, if you have one word you want to say.
I think we've got to keep going, because if we stop now, we won't keep moving forward, and we need to keep having conversations like this, and we need to keep connecting and talking, and whether that be over food, whether that be with a friend, whether that be through education, the conversation needs to continue, and the inspiring others needs to continue.
Beautiful.
For me, it's honestly, there's no going back from here. Some would say this is a revolution that started. There is no going back from here. The changes, as sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, is it Euten?
Euten, yes.
Euten, yeah, as Euten.
As go on.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I'm not 10.
As he mentioned, I literally forgot what I was going to say. You mentioned something, sorry, and it's literally crossed my mind, but it's not. I've now forgotten it. But as I was going to say, there is genuinely no going back from here. What we're talking about, the things, as I said, we are, the forwardness that we bring to these talks, to talk about our personal experiences, to listen about other people's experiences, technology showing us the reality of what's going on across the world, across England, across the UK, with everything. We are seeing everything firsthand nowadays, with no censorship from the government, with media, Twitter, TikTok, whatever it is. We see things live nowadays. And now that I remember it, Euten said, you mentioned about, I've now forgotten it. I keep forgetting. Well, technically, I was just going to say that I don't know what's going on with my mind, but I was just going to say that there's no going back. And the more we talk about this, it's a good cause. And the more we continue to persist, the more we continue to educate ourselves together, educate other people, it's all for our future, it's for the next generations, it's for equality for all, no matter their race, gender, cultural background, religion. And that is what I feel us four today, us four today on this call, I feel like we all share very similar values. What we want out of the outcome we want. And it starts with us sharing such things. Definitely. And continuing it. So I'm just happy with that.
Listen.
Oh, thank you guys. I mean, I can't thank you enough. It was so inspiring and very rich listening to your stories. And thank you so much for taking this time, joining in.
Very interesting. It's a very nice call.
Absolutely.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you so much.